Yeah, guys.
What's going on, y'all?
Yeah. Well, one, Happy New Year to you.
Happy New Year.
Now, this is a bit of an awkward moment because the last time we tried to have a show like this, we had a lot of shenanigans going on. But I'll start off by making it very clear for those that are not watching, we do have some exclusive footage. Here at the Wrestling Realm, we have people that work with us all over the world, and we have slight intel at WWE headquarters, and we kind of got somebody sent us some footage, a glimpse of kind of what kind of happened last week at WWE headquarters.
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
Houston, we have a problem.
Oh my gosh.
Houston, we have a problem.
Yes!
What you gonna do? 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 What you gonna do?
Oh, yeah.
I could not start the year off without shenanigan. I mean, like who the heck are we if this is not what we decided to do?
That was perfect, man.
Huh?
That was perfect.
Huh?
Yeah, bro.
Ladies
Good
and
old
gentlemen,
Michael Scott.
welcome to the Wrestling Realm Now podcast. Brothers, how are you all doing today? This is an interesting day. We have one of those shows today for those who are listening early, for those who are already tuning in. We're gonna try not to prolong the situation. But good brothers, man. This is the first time we've all been back since the new year. Shout out to Brian H, sir. You and brother Brandon, the guy, did an excellent job holding it down for the first of the year, 2023, man.
Yes, they did.
You know, we tried. That was a roller coaster, as Brandon called it.
No, listen to me. Roller coasters are fun, but you know what? Tonight's show is going to be that much more of a roller coaster because the last time we tried to talk Vince McMahon, I think we got sabotaged. I'm not saying by who.
Last
but
couple of times.
I'm just saying. Usually, you know how these things go down. But gentlemen, tonight's the night. Vince McMahon has made a comeback to WWE. This has got to be one of the craziest things in the world of professional wrestling that I've ever seen happen. But with that being said, we're not going to waste any time. We're going to jump into it. Let's jump right into the logistics because we got quite a bit to talk about today. So with that being said, for the first time in 2023, wait for it. Welcome to the Wrestling Realm Now podcast, where we take a deeper dive into the world of professional wrestling. Now, you can watch our flagship show, The Wrestling Realm, and other shows anytime on youtube.com/The Wrestling Realm, where myself, the real Dwayne Allen, Brian H. Waters, and brother Hugh has the third explore many topics and try to educate and give fans a different perspective on many different things in the world of professional wrestling. I'm your host, the realness himself, the real Dwayne Allen. He is your host. Has the third, H to the A to the S, T to the H to the E, 3 to the R to D, and last but not least, certainly not least, Brian H. Waters, also in the building. You can follow us on all social media platforms, Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at Wrestling Realm, 2 W's. Like, subscribe, and engage in the conversation with us. You can also stream and download all of our audio content on Anchor, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and much more. You can watch us and subscribe to our Twitch channel at The Wrestling Realm. See, that was pretty smooth, right? Pretty smooth?
Nice.
Okay, I'll keep going. Hold on. Let me keep going. I got to pull my stuff up. WrestlingRealm.com will be returning soon. You can shop all of our merchandise. You can get one of our most famous tees, the Proud Wrestling Fan tee. We have a brand new collection of Wrestling Realm items that was set to drop for fall and winter, just to celebrate kind of how far we've come and the things that we've done. Also soon to come, Jack Daddy Brian H. Waters t-shirt, because I'm not letting that one go. The Jack Daddy himself.
That's what she said.
But we have all types of. See, he's in that mood already. We have all types of merchandise on WrestlingRealm.com. That's where you can find all of our merchandise: t-shirts, hoodies, sweatshirts, mugs, etc. Also, subscribe to our Patreon channel, patreon.com/wrestling_realm. Do not forget the underscore, where you can find all exclusive content, shows, and bonus material, such as Bryan Nature's thoughts, Bryan Nature's writing, Bryan Nature's speaking. He is giving his 2 cents on a lot of different things. But guess what? That's not for free, because there's a lot of things that you want to say. And with that being said, it is 2023, correct?
There we
Realness
go.
Reacts. Realness Reacts is set to debut this year in 2023. When? Who knows? But guess what, though? I'll give you this preview. For all the early birds, take a listen. Just take a quick snippet. Just take a look. That is right, ladies and gentlemen. That is the brand new intro to Realness Reacts. I've been working on some things, and you will be pleasantly surprised with what I decided to do. I took my time for a reason, and trust me, there's a reason for everything. Everything's calculated. It's kind of what I do. But for all those,
who knows?
Right now, I'm in the process of shooting a commercial. I'm going to do something for because what would I be without the shenanigans? But we'll be shooting promo and the commercials for Realness Reacts. But you know what, though? I'm going to give you all another sneak peek, right? If you don't know what Realness Reacts is supposed to be, Realness Reacts is supposed to be my own show where I'm going to be unhinged, and we're going to tackle all the difficult questions on a number of different topics. And guess what? For all the people who are, they say they're coming in pretty fast. For all the people that are coming in fast, would you guys like a preview of the first 2 topics I will be tackling? Do you think I should give it to them? That's okay. Listen,
a little taste.
The first show that I will be tackling, unhinged, uncensored, asking the tough questions. Bam. Mercedes Moné versus Sasha Banks. Can Mercedes Moné live up to the hype? There's a set of questions that I'm going to go through that I'm going to try to answer and try to find the answers to. But guess what? We're going to find out if this is really worth the hype. With that being said, the second and most obvious show that will be following the Mercedes Moné show will be this one. Now, don't get me wrong. We're discussing Vince McMahon tonight, but I have to be civilized because it's not just me today. I'm here with the brothers, and we have a show to do. And we're going to tackle a lot of different things, but my personal feelings and thoughts in regards to these things, whether this is a good thing or bad thing, anything I don't get through today, best believe I will be going into detail. You're going to tackle him uncensored, asking the tough questions on Realness Reacts. Sorry, I had a bit of a delay on my saying.
Oh, okay.
No, yeah, I had to pause. I was hearing myself talk. So that's it. I'm trying to give you guys. I will be going into detail. More reasons to subscribe to our Patreon channel, patreon.com/wrestling_realm. Asking the tough question. One more announcement. Bam. Wait, where am I at? Oh, yes. If you're looking to purchase tickets for sports, concerts, and more, use promo code Wrestling Realm on SeatGeek to get $20 off of your purchase. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. The promo code Wrestling Realm can get you $20 off of your next purchase. So if you're going to a show, if you're going to a concert, a sporting event, by all means, purchase tickets through SeatGeek and use promo code Wrestling Realm. We've already gotten a lot of feedback from a number of different people that have used the promo code, and they are so grateful and they are thankful that we are partnering with them in this sort of a sponsorship. I guess that's what it's considered in this place. But yes, that's SeatGeek. Promo code Wrestling Realm. Also, one more quick announcement before we get into the meat and potatoes of the show is last week, Brandon the Guy and Brian H were talking about a new show. The Wrestling Realm is expanding. Yes, we have been working extremely hard to develop a network of content to be a part of the Wrestling Realm. I mean, everybody gets in front of the camera and talks wrestling with their friends. We get that. But here at the Wrestling Realm, we are trying to expand that content. And Brandon, the guy, will get his own show based around what he does best, what he is known for, and that is him being the original Belt King himself. So right now, that show is in its beta stages. It is in development, but Brandon Guy's show is officially, I'm here to announce it is officially greenlit as of 2023. When it will come out, I can't give you any definitive numbers or names or dates, but it is it's official as of today. That show has been greenlit. So, Brother Brandon, not that you need anything, but welcome to the Wrestling Realm Network, your new show. Looking forward to seeing what you bring to the table in regards to that, and just letting people get a glimpse into who you are and what you do best when it comes to this world of professional wrestling and wrestling replica belts. Brothers, let's get right into it. Now, usually this is the part of the show where we sit down and we talk about what do we watch this week. But you know what? Since we myself and Brother Hugh missed last week, and Ryan H and Brother Brandon kind of got busy doing what they were doing. Brief recap to start 2023. Gentlemen, it's been quite a bit of it's the year just started. And yet, so much has happened. I think a few of the highlights that I have in the rundown is the obviously Mercedes Moné makes her debut in New Japan, right? And at Wrestle Kingdom 17, was it 17?
Yep.
Yeah.
Wrestle Kingdom 17. New Japan's Wrestle Kingdom 17 took place at the Tokyo Dome as it does every year in January. Shinsuke and Muta tore down the house and had such a dramatic ending. A lot of people miss the way Shinsuke has been booked, the way he has in Japan. So that was a lot of fun. New champions on a lot of different shows. A lot of people crowned. Okada becoming WGP champion once again, as well as Kenny Omega becoming the New Japan Pro Wrestling United States champion. Gentlemen, am I missing anything? And then the obvious thing is the main event of tonight's show, and that's Vince McMahon making his way back to the executive board at the top of WWE. For the love of God, help us. Gentlemen, did I miss anything?
Yeah, the return of Has the Third, it's good to be back.
Welcome back, brother Hugh. It's nice to
I'm
have
here.
you back, sir.
I'm here to, handle business and here for the team and just ready to go out there and execute.
No, it's
Next question.
next question. Okay. What about you, Brian? Talk to people. 2023. It's starting off with a bang, don't you think?
Yeah, tell me about it. It's been cool. Some things, we can talk about, some things we can't talk about. Yo, real quick, somebody just sent me a selfie. Triple H and Stephanie McMahon, and it's a bad. I ain't gonna say it's bad, but it's a Photoshop of them at AEW tonight.
Oh my gosh.
Oh wow, that's hilarious.
It's starting already.
This is what we're getting into, man. It's going to be one of those situations.
Shout out to my boy Michael Moscato, my boy all the way from kindergarten. He goes, "Hey, you want a scoop?" And I'm like, all right, because he had been trying to yo, you need to get Action Andretti on the show, man. I know him, this, that, and the other. I was like, yeah, I came across him too, but it just timing wasn't right. So he goes, you want a scoop? I'm like, yeah, what you got? And then he sends me the selfie. He's like, that's a selfie. I'm like, bro, that's a bad Photoshop.
Wow. Listen to me. He thought he had something. That's the funny part.
That's my boy, though. That's my boy. Oh man.
Yeah, man. But 2023 is not letting up. But I'll tell you one thing I did notice. First of all, as of this recording, Wednesday, January 10th,
11th.
11th. Excuse me. See, look, my days are running together already. This is what 2023 is doing to me already.
Mm-hmm.
I just finished watching AEW Dynamite's main event between the Elite, Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks versus Death Triangle, Pac, Ray Phoenix, and Pentagon Jr. I'm just going to go ahead and say this: they can do no wrong. If there's anything right about AEW, it's definitely Elite. It's definitely Death Triangle. I mean, they never miss. They do some of the craziest stunts in the ring, and yet they're so protective of each other. They're so safe, and they keep the matches fun and exciting.
Right.
Just despite how many spots and how many high octane things that they do, and they make good television. So shout out to AEW's main event this week. I don't say a lot of nice things about AEW on a regular basis, but this time I do. But speaking of AEW, gentlemen, I'm gonna tell you what caught my attention last week, and I had to, and I hit up Keeks, and she was probably less than enthused as I said it because, for obvious reasons. But Daniel Bryan versus MJF. I mean, god dang it! Finally, something that AEW has got my attention.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I was sitting there and I flipped to us. Let me just see what's going on. I'm always going to keep up what's going on. And the one of the biggest critiques that I've always had of AEW, not a critique, but just a preference, I should say, is the lack of dance partners to make me care about that world title. A lot of those matchups haven't been super great to me because you can't have one without the other, right? You gotta have a Batman to your Robin. I mean, you gotta have your Batman to your Joker, a Joker to your Batman. And Daniel Bryan is to this day still one of my favorite wrestlers. 1A, 1B, him and AJ Styles. And I was finally happy to see them have this crazy intense mic exchange, which was really, really good. I was like, man, if there's one thing MJF can do is he can captivate you. He can pull you in. He's really, really good at, I mean, just the way he plays off the crowd, his delivery, everything he does. And to have that exchange with Daniel Bryan, one of my favorite wrestlers, I'm like, finally, this is a feud I can get behind. This is something I'm excited about. Did you guys happen to see this, the promos between those two or the exchange that they had?
Oh yeah. You saw Bryan Danielson really show his range, which we know as WWE fans, and like it's not really been said like he's not like great on the microphone, but obviously people always, that's not the first thing you think about. But it felt good and refreshing to hear him go back there because like everybody else has always just been about the wrestling since he's been in AEW.
Sure.
But here you really got to hear him go toe to toe with a smart mouth like MJF.
Right.
So that's what made it fun. And he even said like, he had to go down to your mother jokes and all that stuff. But I thought it was great.
What about you, brother Hugh? Are you feeling Daniel Bryan and MJF right now?
Yeah, absolutely. I thought it was gonna be dry at first, but it definitely, to piggyback off of what Brian said, Daniel Bryan, it shows that Daniel Bryan is a well-rounded superstar.
He'll always be Daniel Bryan, by the way. We're saying that on
Absolutely.
purpose.
Absolutely. Yeah, it shows that he's a well-rounded superstar, and he can give him the mic. He can go with the best. We already know he can go in the ring. And MJF, what can he do wrong right now? Give him the mic. It's over with.
Oh no, it's just that's ether to hands. Like at the end of the day, it's game set match. If there's anybody right now that can kind of sell something right now, it's MJF.
It's MJF, man. Like that's hey, I can't say nothing wrong about him.
I'm looking forward to it. Daniel Bryan's got to have a number of matches that he has to win in order to even qualify for a match with MJF. But of course, you need reasons to kind of hold off those two and give them a time and a place to really, really fight and make it worthwhile. I think this can be pretty game changer for a guy like MJF, and hopefully for Daniel Bryan as well, and for AEW. AEW is I'm always rooting for AEW, but I don't make excuses for AEW. I've seen what a good alternative looks like, and that's just where my standard is. And like I said, there's elements of the show that I enjoy, but I can't. I've had a hard time getting into the entire show. I remember I saw that and I said, man, I remember I told Keith, I said, if they could just match this energy for the entire show, well, I know which is hard to do because the performers are new faces and new storylines, but they've got a good crop of talent that are new faces and then old and familiar faces that are there at the same time. But moving on to the WWE, because we have a lot of things to get into. Something I've noticed, man, it's not too many times that the Roman Reigns of the Bloodline,
You moving over real quick? Adam Cole is back. That should be worth noting.
You're absolutely right. Adam Cole did return tonight as well. I did see that. I'm tripping. How did I forget that?
Yeah, that was like, especially, shout out to him, all that he went through. Pro wrestlers are people. And to hear him talk about, the brain injuries and everything, man. Hey, shout out. Mike Moscato's in the building. He's under a different name, but I just sent him the link. I told him I called him out about his Photoshop.
Oh boy.
That's my bro from, like I said, all the way back from kindergarten. But yeah, to see Adam Cole, to hear that promo and hear him talk about everything that he had been through, it's like wow, and it's scary when you think about we just saw what happened with, obviously anytime you're dealing with health, it's scary. So
sure.
To hear that he's back, I'm really excited. You think about like Tua from the Miami Dolphins, all that trauma he dealt with, and thinking like, man, like, this stuff is serious. him to be able to recover, this is going to be good. And I'm excited. Hope to see him in the main event picture within 6 months.
I mean, yeah, this is the shot in the arm that AEW needs. They need Adam Cole, and I don't mind that. As much as I didn't want him to leave WWE, I don't mind him in AEW. You know, it naturally fits, and like now's not the time to be in WWE anyway. And it's not because of the circumstances, it's just that there's too many people that's up next right now.
Yeah.
And we're going to get to one of those people later into the show before we jump into the Vince McMahon conversation. So, you know, we'll put a pin in that, but we'll head over to the E right now. On happier terms, Sami Zayn on borrowed time with the Bloodline. Roman Reigns doesn't take a lot of losses, right? But when you're the one person that's solely responsible for the hottest act in all of professional wrestling, to lose a match, I'm noticing there's this kind of setup. There's a bit of a tease in regards to what's going to happen with Sami Zayn, right?
Yeah.
He had to fight and claw and earn his respect to get there. But I'm not completely sold on the Bloodline really, really embracing him. On one hand, says, you know what, it seems like they are, but Roman, even after the win at War Games, there's an infamous picture of the Bloodline raising their hands, and Roman's staring a hole into the side of Sami Zayn's face after he sacrificed his friend Kevin Owens. I think there's a bigger story to be told here, but Brother Hugh, I want to hear your thoughts on it first in regards to Sami Zayn. Do you think that there's only a matter of time for the Bloodline kind of just they kind of rid their hands of Sami Zayn and I guess in a way that they don't need him anymore?
Yeah, it seems that way because he's not delivering. He took the pin. You know that put an L on my tribal chief's record.
Nah, you said it right the first time, tribal thief.
But but yeah, it does seem like he's on borrowed time, and if he's not, he's doing a hell of a job. Just kind of throwing us off. I'm talking about Sami Zayn. This is
but I think that's an excellent point. I think that's what kind of got a shake. But Brian, there's these underlying themes that we're seeing with Sami Zayn and the Bloodline, right? As much as Sami Zayn has kind of staked his claim as an honorary Uso, Kevin Owens isn't going away. If I were a betting man, there's still a piece of me that says at some point either Sami's going to wise up, or him and Kevin Owens are going to somehow find themselves reuniting and taking down the Bloodline from the inside out. And I'm talking about going forward. I'm not just talking about in a match. Like I can see this feud be the reason that the Bloodline kind of gets brought down, right? And I think we start a new story. So what I'm referring to is it seems as if like, okay, it's going to start with the Usos first.
Okay.
Because we had this conversation before, and I always felt like Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn would be the ones to dethrone the Usos after all this time. That's them beating them is going to put them in a different stratosphere because we've never seen Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens be a tag team before. We know their chemistry inside the ring. We've seen it outside the ring, but we've never saw it together on camera in the space that they're in now, right?
Right.
And then and I think that will eventually lead to something in regards to Roman either potentially losing his titles or being separated from one or the other, and they're kind of setting balance back to the landscape of WWE in regards to the championships on the shows, and also just continuing to add more depth to the storylines of what the Bloodline is kind of in. Because right now we're looking at perfection, right? And it's like, okay, cool. We know that's not going to last forever because you book yourself into a corner. So where do we find a chink in the armor? What do you think, Brian H?
That's a good question.
Am I reaching?
No, you're not. But I'm also trying to take my desires and biasness, because I made it very clear I don't want to see the Bloodline break up. I want to see Sami and KO at WrestleMania again in Hollywood
against each other.
Yeah, against each other. And like Brother Brandon said, you think they dropped the straps on Monday? I don't, but I do like the fact that WWE is kind of hinting at like just the Raw titles. So I could see those tag titles being split faster than the Universal and the WWE Championship. But you know, there's also like the Montreal of it all, right? Sami, they get ready to go there for the Elimination Chamber, so it's possibility you could do some work there. So I don't know. And then it's so many factors because we still got The Rock, and it's like, do you want to have a potential chink in the armor when you have The Rock right there coming in?
Are you really sold that The Rock is really coming back to WWE?
Yeah. Let me.
So you're part of that conspiracy group. You're part of the Rock is coming back group. You're part of that section. You're like, no, I firmly believe he's going to make his return.
One more time. I just watched that episode of Young Rock the other day.
Okay.
But yeah, I think he's coming back. And
all right.
I think this his farewell. This will be it.
Okay. And you think he'll be directly linked to the Bloodline?
He has to, right? The head of the table.
I don't know.
It only makes sense.
It doesn't make. I don't know, man. You know what? I don't know. I'm not even gonna just continue. I'm not even gonna try to, because it's my mind just went down the crazy rabbit hole that I keep saying I'm not going down. It's because The Rock was someone I really wasn't considering. Then you say, okay, well, who's next up for Reigns? Like, how do you get involved, or how do you do this? But I think the WWE is in a space where they have to really, really figure out what they're going to do in regards to separating the titles, because they're making it clear that they're keeping them separate on purpose, right? Like, they're not just saying, oh, well, we're the tag champions and they happen to have both belts. Like when Carlito and Primo had the titles, they were just they were the tag team champions. And they just happened to have both titles. They never said they're the SmackDown champions and then the World Heavyweight Tag Team champions. You know what I mean? They were just your undisputed tag champions. But it seems like they have not gotten to a space where they're purposely separating the two, which means that they're probably going to at some point still do that. But the question is, how? How would they plan to separate the titles once and for all? Like, just this dramatic Dragon Ball Z montage of, okay, how do we do this? But
I like this comment, Wrestling Conspiracists. Says they are thinking, what if Sami starts his own bloodline like an NWO Wolfpack, call it New Blood, Sami and Solo and a couple of recruits?
Here's my question to that. Why are people so convinced that Solo is against the bloodline or going to be against Roman? I don't see that. Like, and this is just me. Go ahead.
It could possibly add up, because we talked about this before. He comes in, he's supposedly sent in by the higher ups. That's the rumor anyway.
The elders. That's never been confirmed, but that's what everybody was saying.
Oh, right. Yeah, he said it.
Okay, so he confirmed, like, I was sent by the elders.
Yeah, and then Roman says, he said, Solo, the elders sent you, but
that was the very next night.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. At the Clash, right? At the castle. Yeah.
And then also the little subtle nuances that's been changing, like with Solo. Like, for instance, the little one finger thing, putting his one finger up, or just being more like isolated in his zone. Yeah, but it goes well with his character too,
because he's kind of the muscle.
Right.
You can't read him. Yeah.
Right. So, I mean, you could kind of go that way. They're just throwing little curveballs at you. But I don't know. I don't know yet. It's really just tossed up in the air right now. It all depends on The Rock.
Right.
And his schedule.
See, that's the part that's throwing me off, because I really was not even considering The Rock, to be honest with you. Like, I've never fed into that idea. Because I was like, The Rock's not coming back, because it's Hollywood, of course.
You don't want to get your hopes up, because I know you're a Rock fan. Is it that?
No, I just don't. Like, what do you do long term? Does he have another run? Like, where do you go? Because you have to say to yourself, when we book these things, what we've learned is the first thing they ask is, now, where do we go from here? So how long does The Rock come in? How long does when The Rock came back in to deal with Cena and CM Punk, he was here for a short period of time. Like, he was around for a little while.
For a 3-year plan when he came back. They had already planned it out for it to be 3 years, because he wanted to make sure that when he did it, it would be meaningful. He didn't want a one-off. But because this is Roman Reigns, I could see him saying, this is a dream match scenario, just do it as a one-off. I could see that happening, and that being his final match. Kind of like, Stone Cold's final match.
Passing of a torch,
Yeah, but why would he want to break the bloodline up, though?
I don't think he break the bloodline up for it.
Well, why would he go? My question is,
It has nothing to do with him breaking the bloodline up. It's just
What does it
two
have?
egos going at it.
Yeah, but my thing is the whole point of the tribal chief character is to say, look, I'm head of the table of the family. I'm finally at the place in our family in this business where I'm the breadwinner, and they're just over exaggerating that, right? Like I'm having a hard time saying why The Rock will come back and goes, oh yeah, I'm the breadwinner of the family, but then you leave. Like you're going back to hot, like you're not here long term. Like that's not what this is about.
I see what you're saying though, but
so it's like oh yeah, you do it, but it's like if you're not trying to do one off, then what do you do? Because or how do you not cause dissension amongst your own family? Like why would you do that? Because so far this Samoan culture is like, nah, no matter what, we stuck together and we all acknowledge Roman. Why would The Rock just decide to come in and just decide otherwise?
That's a good point.
Yeah, it is. That does make sense.
What I'm saying is we're not gonna get The Rock and Roman.
Basically, that's what he's saying.
As he freezes in his couch.
I was about to say he's frozen. Vince,
See?
boy.
That title of the show.
There you go. I knew it was going to happen. I thought it was going to be me first.
Oh man, but I understand what he's saying, but at the same time, like I just think that
just
I know he's probably kicking the chair like, God dang it, I know, man, freaking. But like I understand what he's saying, right? Truthfully, but it's wrestling. So at the end of the day, you look at it, right? Yokozuna unfortunately never got to work The Rock. Like when you think about tribal chiefs, right? Ryoko would have been the tribal chief, Rodney Anawai, and then it would have been The Rock up next. But then The Rock was gone. Umaga never went to that elevation, unfortunately. You know, I mean, one, he was in the Cena era, and two, we lost him. So, you know, Roman being the guy to go that far with the Anawai last name for the first time since Yokozuna. You know,
I just think it's something new and it's something that everybody would like to see.
And it's a dream match, you know.
Right, it's a dream match. It's a lot of matches that we did not see. With The Rock, like for instance, Rock and Shawn, Rock and Triple H at WrestleMania. You know what I'm saying?
Shawn and
did we get that? We got that triple threat, did we? Austin, Triple H, and Rock.
Never. It was supposed to have
we never got it, right? Yeah, okay. You know, so it's like you said, it's that fantasy booking.
Yeah, that's all. You know,
make it happen. You
understand the real Dwayne Allen wanted to, you know, dig deep into that.
No, I mean, it's you guys added a wrinkle to the. You added a wrinkle to the mix that I wasn't familiar with, because I swear to goodness, I really didn't even bring that to the situation. But I'm glad you brought it up, because this is what we do here. We try to hold on, I can put this on the screen. Man, Uncle Hottie, I'm telling you, man, it's this show. Every time we had these conversations, because you know what's kind of impending.
Like this,
the title,
right?
You probably should man or something.
Yeah, man. So I'm telling you, man, something's up. But yeah, man, we'll see. I know Sami Zayn is one of the featured members, but man, this story is getting rather juicy. But speaking of stories, Cody Rhodes, they're starting to show these return packages for him and his road to recovery and his and
they're also showing him for Lacey Evans.
But she doesn't count though. Nobody like she got repackaged like 10 times. Like Cody Rhodes is like, he seems very, and this is, I'm gonna tell you what's caught my attention. He is very adamant in his promos about like, look, I'm coming back, I'm ready. You know why I'm here. There's only one cause, there's only one thing left for me to do. To me, that's a tease. I'm picking him to win the Royal Rumble this year. The question, this is why y'all threw me off almost 10 minutes ago talking about The Rock, because I'm like, wait a minute, how do you do this now? Because I don't see Rock. I don't see Roman losing. I don't understand what they're going to do. And I think, see, look, now the Wi-Fi will go out on me again. But what do you guys think?
Not to go for too far back, but I never trusted MJ. Okay. MJF did the hip thrust to the New Day Money Dance. But I understand. I always thought that was going to be an issue, to be honest. And I've heard people suggest things such as Rock, the 2-night split of the title. Which I would love to see Roman. If they do it that way, I would love to see Roman at least leave with the Universal Championship. Like Cody's coming for the WWE title. It's that simple, right?
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if he, Cody, brought this back just because, that's.
No, they're not bringing back any more old titles.
I know they're not, but I'm saying I wouldn't be surprised.
Why not though? Let me ask you that. Why would you be surprised if he brought back an older title?
Just because he's, rooted in tradition.
Okay, that's fair. Sure.
Yeah, I'm not calling it for it. Make sure to make that clear because we understand that when you see that WWE Championship at the Super Bowl, at the World Series, it's that big logo. With the company. That's the reason why they don't hand out the big gold. Because it's your company's branding. But I would see a scenario like them doing the 2-night title thing. I really hope they don't. You know what? I wouldn't care. To be honest with you. No, take that back. I wouldn't care. But that's the way I see they doing it. If you got Rock locked in,
you know what crazy part is? I really forgot that WrestleMania was 2 nights. I'm frazzled right now. I was like, oh snap! I forgot it is 2 nights.
Yeah.
But if not Cody Rhodes, then who?
To win the Royal Rumble?
Yeah.
Edge.
Edge 2 times in 4 years? I don't think.
Nah, cut it out. As many comeback as he's had. No, man, we know he's coming back. That's the whole point.
He's gonna come back and then leave the next night.
Oh, jeez.
The belt guy has chimed in. What if he made a new version of it? The casual wrestler said only if Brandon made it. A new version of Eagle. But yeah, well, I'm gonna leave Brandon's feelings about the Winged Eagle when he do his show. That's a teaser for y'all. Reason why y'all should tune in. But
check out that Patreon.
Facts. Yeah. So yeah, I forgot where I was going with it. But yeah, I don't know who else wins it. Honestly, except Rollins.
I don't know, man. It seems like Roman. It seems like Cody has all the momentum going into it. But
yeah, I do think Randy Orton is still injured, Justin. I
don't think he's injured. I think he's Royal Rumble bound.
Really?
I do.
Okay.
I just don't trust anything professional wrestling right now. So like,
right? I don't even know. Yeah, I don't. I'm sitting here just trying to think of somebody else, and who could be a possible curveball?
Like, what if Sasha Banks shows up at the women's Rumble?
That would be beautiful.
Like, oh, I'm not here to stay. I'm just here to win a Royal Rumble. Then I'm leaving again.
Money,
boy. Right.
Mercedes Money.
Cash this check real quick.
And I'm Mercedes Monet while I'm out there.
That's very true. I mean, it's not like it hasn't been done before. Who did that? Somebody else did it. Like when they came back, they were well. I mean, I can't really say Christian because he was Christian Cage in TNA, but then when he came back, or when he went back for a night, he was still booked as Christian Cage, whatever your TNA alias was. But or when he went back for a night, he was still booked as Christian. Cody Rhodes is my pick, but I'm paying very close attention to these promo packages. Like, why is he getting these all of a sudden? They're picking up right where he left off, and I think there's a reason why. With Triple H being in charge of creative, we're gonna get that in a second. Before my Wi-Fi started acting funky again, Uncle Howdy shows his face. I really think who cares? We have not got promo packages from injured superstars before. They're picking up right where they left off, and I think that's for a reason. But we'll put a pin in that until the time we get closer to the Rumble. But another honorable mention, something that I noticed what do you guys think about this Hurt Business reunion kind of a brewing? I'm a gear guy, so of course last Monday I saw Bobby Lashley finally wearing all black, and he had gold accents on his belt. I said, "Come on, man! I know a tease when I see one."
Right.
AJ did the same. AJ did the same thing when he was Crip and Blue one week, and then he got Real Blood the following week.
And then Shelton and Homeboy come out.
We saw Shelton Benjamin and Shelton Benjamin and Cedric Alexander on the bump together. We saw a YouTube short of MVP kind of like, showing that they kind of patched things up. And then, of course, we had MVP kind of make a complete forward to Bobby Lashley. Look, man, mistakes were made. Let's get back to doing business. Bobby Lashley said, look, man, it's no beef, but I got my own business to attend to. I ain't forget nothing. MVP's like, okay, I got you. All right. I don't got no issues, but it sounds to me that we got a Hurt Business reunion on back on the way. So,
oh my God, right.
I wonder what y'all think about this. Hurt Business reunion, right? We think about a possibility of a Shelton Benjamin Brock match to lead us into Brock and Bobby again. And the reason why I say that, because they may be going. I do think they have another Saudi show.
Oh God.
Brock always shows up for those.
Oh, yeah, of course, the money's always there.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a possibility. I think it's something people want to see, and like I said, you want to put somebody in front before you get to the main course. So, I mean, yeah, man, I'm, I wouldn't be. We thought we were going to kind of get that bit of a tease that in the Royal Rumble when Shelton kind of showed up and they kind of exchanged and they threw him out. But I don't know, man. Only time will tell. But you can see a lot of things kind of brewing like right before the Rumble as we kind of get on this road to WrestleMania, or whatever's going to be left of it by the time we get to it. But with that being said, brothers, so I'm trying not to keep us long. I'm really not. Oh God. We had a good couple of months, man.
Oh man.
No,
we had a
somebody else. We're just gonna keep you right where you at right now.
We had a good couple of months, brothers. It almost seems too good to be true. Man, we had a regime shift. We had so many returns. The product was getting better. We weren't ashamed to say we enjoyed watching Raw and SmackDown. Usually we'll watch it and trash it, but still watch it.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes we would just take what they gave us. We had so many returns. And do y'all hear feedback? Do y'all hear like extra words coming from me?
I don't.
Okay, good. I just want to make sure as I keep going because I'm going into this diatribe about this.
And
we had
Brian going off.
The most
he going off with the sound effects over there.
Oh, the most professional wrestling thing could have happened.
Mm-hmm.
How in the world did Vince McMahon strong arm his way back into being the executive chairman of the board of WWE? Immediately when the news came out, I thought it was rumor, so I left it alone.
Mm-hmm.
And then when they started showing paperwork, I said, "Oh crap, this is legal." Houston, we have a goddamn problem. Gentlemen, where were you on the day you found out that Vince McMahon was returning to WWE, like legitimately? And what were you thinking? What were your thoughts? I'll get into mine, but I'm gonna let you guys go first because I don't want to ramble. But let's start with you, brother Hugh. You hear Vince McMahon is coming back to the WWE. What's immediately going through your mind?
Well, first of all, I heard about this days in advance. It was a rumor.
Mm-hmm.
Whatnot.
It was through the grapevine.
Yeah, I immediately believed it though. I immediately believed it because my brother just randomly texted me and said, "Look, Vince McMahon is coming back to the WWE."
This is terrible.
And if you know anything, my brother does not watch that stuff. No, does not watch wrestling anymore. And he was just like, "Yeah, Vince McMahon coming back." I said, "Huh? Stop playing." Then I thought about it. I was like, "This is my brother. It has to be true."
Right.
Started looking things up. Nothing was like concrete. And sure enough, it was like yesterday or the day before. I was just sitting here watching TV, and then I see a little notification pop up. I said, "Stop playing, man. Stop playing." Looked at it. It was just like, "Oh, Lord. Here come the walkouts. Here comes all the changes." And then I stopped myself and was like, "Look, let me stop thinking negatively."
There you go. Way to be positive, brother.
Yeah, let me be positive about this. Let's think about this.
Mm-hmm.
If I have a company that's my baby for years,
Uh-huh.
of course I'm going to come back and I'm going to shop that bad boy like I want it to be shopped.
Sure.
You know, I'm gonna promote it. I'm gonna get it out there, and I'm gonna sell it the way I wanted it to be sold, and get the money for it. Why not? That makes sense. I just hope that's all it is.
Yo.
To be honest,
because
right now,
everything you're describing right now is business stuff, right?
Yeah.
We've never disregarded the business aspect of it because Vince McMahon is probably one of the best to ever do it when it comes to that. So I'm in agreement with you when it comes to that. But then there's also that other piece with that you just kind of alluded to. And I'm like, bro, as long as it stays there, but it's like, I feel like we don't trust them because I know I sure sector. I don't trust any business shark that's that good at doing business. Right.
Yeah.
And I'm with you, brother Hugh, because and before Brian, we get your 2 cents on the matter. I
just don't want to go back to that same era. Like I'm spoiled now.
Listen to me. I'm telling y'all right now, brothers, I ain't going back. I refuse. I don't know what's going to happen to this show. I'm sorry. Breaking news. I'm saying it now. I'm not going back, bro. I refuse. I can't. See, before when it was there, we just took it because we were trained to just take it. Like we didn't that was all that was there. You didn't know any better. But I've seen the light. I've seen the other side, and I'm not going back.
We taste the food with the extra seasoning.
Bro.
Brother Hugh got promoted to the top reading group because he was Martin Luther King. I thought he was getting ready to do the speech.
This dude always got to put all of my business out there. This week,
I mean, all the time though, like all the time.
Right?
Yeah, it never fit. Oh, see,
like baby blue. He was like, and Gentiles.
I have a dream. Oh, look, come on, bro. Like, why you had to go there?
Because I was proud of you, yo. He was great.
All right, I appreciate that. Tell me that after the show.
Yeah. but I'm not, man.
Maintain, bro.
Rod said you will go back, Dwayne, and you will like it.
By God damn it!
And as his Wi-Fi freezes. Look, man. Here's the thing.
The same way too.
Yeah.
How is it always the same pose, bro?
When the realness thought he was. Oh, that's getting in the group chat.
Oh my gosh!
When he looked down the line and he looked down the hall and he saw Vince McMahon was coming back.
Right. The goddamn devil.
Here's the thing. Wait, he's moving.
Yeah, he did just move. Oh, shoulder work,
bro. They're trying to take me out. I promise you. I feel like I'm being targeted. I really do.
Bro, you had the title. You couldn't title Sports Returns,
bro.
Hey,
I didn't even want to put it on there because I said no. What are the chances this will happen again, brother? The chances are high.
I had no problems last week. Brother
right,
Brandon, no problems. Now, granted, we did the show in 10 minutes, but still.
You definitely did.
Go ahead, Brian.
But here's the thing, right? I listened to Eazy-E, Eric Bischoff, and it made me feel better.
Right.
Because he said it would be so much going on that Vince wouldn't even have time to like even touch creative because of the return. And now, mind you, this is before the news that broke yesterday. So I'm thinking, like, yeah, I kind of feel better, but it's still Vince McMahon who is just different. And he was like,
go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, he was saying even somebody who's as like he said works 20 hours a day wouldn't have time to go touch creative right now because of all the stuff that he would have to get, go in, undo, redo, etc.
Now, what news are you referring to when you said as of the news that broke yesterday?
Stephanie McMahon's resignation.
Okay. Now, what difference do you think that makes?
Well, I'm just making a point. I didn't even get to even think that far because
got it.
That news made me say that was the news that made me like, all right, I need to go sit down because felt like what else is happening?
Yeah.
I feel like she was a placeholder anyway, because she was
Yeah,
already out of the door and just wanted to chill. I mean, who else
It
would
was
you bring in? Shane?
It was the
Like,
language in the press release.
That's not nice, brother Hugh.
What?
No, but
It's the truth.
Shane. Cut it out. You know, Shane got sent home a long time ago.
When she said, "I'm taking this a step further, and this is my resignation." See, during the summer, she was just taking a leave of absence, and it was like, okay, she wants to spend time with her family.
But she also wasn't a CEO though.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. She's a professional.
She was a chief.
Yeah.
Was she chief branding officer?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I think and to your point, Brian, I remember. Here's what I'm thinking, because she stepped in as CEO chair because that's a rare opportunity. She said it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, well, shoot, if it was worth my while to be a woman, to be a chairwoman and CEO of a company of this magnitude, like in history, like that's a big deal, especially as it seemed like she felt like she had a responsibility to take that, and her last name isn't McMahon, to be successor, even for a little while. You know what I mean? Got you. So it sounds like, I think she took it just because, like, well, shoot, I'll take it because this is the best opportunity for me now. But I don't think she was like, okay, now that since you're back, Dad, I mean, you don't need me here anymore at the end of the day. I'm going back to taking my break, and Nick can do everything as he was already slated in the first place. Is that same thing you got?
See, I ain't think of it like that.
That's
okay.
I thought it was like, get me away from here as far as possible.
See, see. This is why I can't. Because you can't never tell. Like, I want to know what's really going on behind the scenes. Because she's like, I am more than thrilled and happy that he's back. And I'm like, what's going on? Because here's a theory that I came across earlier, and I was like, maybe they wanted Vince McMahon back. Sure, they wanted the creative to change, and they got what they wanted. And Vince already made it clear, like, look, I'm not touching anything else. I just want to make sure I can navigate through these negotiations, is because the lifeblood of professional wrestling is these media deals, which is the truth, right? So it's like he doesn't want to see his baby go to the wolves or not get the best deal possible because he's not that shark in the room. I'm like, wait a minute, he might be onto something, right? He might have a point. Like, we have never complained about the WWE as a company or business. Only thing we've ever complained about is creative. We've never complained about house shows and exposure and all that kind of stuff. But it's not like Vince McMahon didn't cut those people before the pandemic. He had one of the most loaded rosters, despite what creative was looking like. You know what I mean? And despite how many allegations he ended up facing or how much money he was paying off to these women. But at the end of the day, it's like, we've never said, oh, this is WWE's doing bad business. We said that in regards to what we were watching on TV.
Yep.
So part of me is like, well, maybe he was the best option to come back to do the things that he says. But then there's a side of me that goes, as a wrestling fan, I don't trust this guy, because if you're in charge, what power do you have to make decisions? How many times can you override somebody? How many times what are you gonna do now to put people in place to be your stooges, and everybody's looking over their shoulders again instead of trying to have a relaxed atmosphere at work, which is ultimately going to affect the product that we're watching, because the people that are putting in the work now may not want to work there anymore. What a Triple H those I'm done. I don't care anymore. I'm finished. I'm retiring.
That's the
like I don't know what the real story is, because we're not there. We're fans. We're speculating.
It's one big storyline. That's what it is.
It's like, this is what I'm saying. This is like, how do you have professional storylines in wrestling in real life? Like, that's what's going on right here in a professional wrestling company.
And see, oh snap! Look, Doc D's in the building.
Hey, what's up, Doc?
It happened on the 60th anniversary, as this is the 60th episode of WrestleMania Now.
What are the chances of that?
Right?
Ooh, boy.
You make a good point about protecting and being a shark in the room, but like you just said, like, why wouldn't he want, to see creative doing so well? Like, oof, I gotta touch it,
That's what we're worried about, because we know he's ultra competitive. We know he's ultra competitive. We know he's spiteful. So it's like, part of it's like, man, we just rather you not be around just to be safe.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's hard to trust that you won't try to get involved because you feel left out, you're bored, you got something to do. I don't know. Are we being paranoid?
Yeah.
No,
I think so, to an extent. Like I said, when I first found out, I would automatically started thinking negatively. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Think positively. Like you said, from the business point of it, like, yeah, it's probably most likely was the best move.
Mm-hmm.
To be honest.
I mean, that's kind of
But
what
now we just gotta
Stephanie
hope
was
and
kind of
pray.
alluding to.
Right now, we just gotta hope and pray that he sees the evolution and what Triple H and Nick Khan's and what they did when he was gone in his absence. So it's like, hopefully he won't touch it. Hopefully he won't bring Goldberg back with Edge and Brock
Oh, God.
Lesnar and throw a stable together. You know what I'm saying?
Right. It just is some foolishness. Well, Brian, as you were saying no. Like you were saying no. You feel like what we feel is kind of warranted. What were you going to say?
Oh, as far as just because you hear, like you was talking about, and it said in the chat, the casual wrestlers said wrestlers are on pins and needles, but you also hear that about people who work backstage, people, writers. I don't want to call them. I'm not even going to say executives, but just personnel. That's
Yeah.
and everything we've heard for the past 4 months or 6 months, however long it's been, is that the morale is up.
Such a short time.
Yeah. And it was like, and then all the rumors about the sale,
which was turned out to be false from what we hear in regards to Saudi Arabia publication firm.
Bruh. Like I was like, man,
we're so wound up, we're believing anything at this point. Because first of all, it doesn't make sense for an American billion-dollar organization to just sell to a Saudi publication fund just because they have billions of dollars. That doesn't make sense to me. Now, mind you, I'm not a venture capitalist, so what do I know?
I'm saying
It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense to me. But I mean, you said money talks, bro.
I mean, yeah, it's like
that's everybody. But
it's
honestly, I think Vince is smarter than that, though.
That's what I'm thinking, because he's still a control guy. Like you sell, and how do you stay CEO? What if they decide now we're going to put somebody else in charge? Then what?
Then you got to think of your secondary issues, like the how they treat women, and you know what I'm saying. Just like what's going on? What's going on with Sami Zayn and
right? Because he won't step foot in certain parts of the Middle East. Like all them Saudi shows and stuff like that. He's made it very clear. Like
what's going on with Sonya Deville? Like,
right, women are second-class citizens in that region and those portions of the world, and that's legal according to their culture and their standards and bylaws, right? But you're talking about a global company that's all inclusive, though. You know what I mean? It didn't make any sense to me. I'm like, but everybody was running with it, and I'm like, this is we're on some Bray Wyatt returning type stuff where they got us going down this rabbit hole because we're so paranoid about what the heck is going to happen next. And we're all so fearful of the one thing that really matters. If Vince decides he wants to, he really is though. We're terrified that he's going to try to touch creative and ruin the product. Because brothers, I'm trying to tell you now, I'm so sorry. I'm not going back. I don't know what we're gonna do. I'm like, bro,
you ain't going nowhere.
You're gonna be like, bro, did you watch it? I'm like, bro, I really did not, because I can't go back. I'm not going back to Ezekiel. I'm not going back to Kevin Owens coming out there trying to convince the world and Chad Gable, and I can't, man. I can't. I refuse to go back. I just cannot. And it's
you don't want to see Brock and Roman again,
bro. I want to do a Triple H books it where he's gonna lift up the ring with a freaking tractor and make it fun. You know what I mean? So I don't know. Hopefully that of course only time will tell. But and I'm being very kind and I'm reserving a lot of the important questions for an exclusive episode of Realness Reacts. But
I can tell.
Right now,
paywall.
Right now, I'm conflicted, brothers. Is because on one hand, I don't know if he's the hero or he's the villain. Right? We've gotten it wrong before. Remember, when Nick Khan came, we blamed him for everything. And Triple H, Shawn Michaels said, "Yeah, he got blamed for everything, and he had nothing to do with any of those things. Like that wasn't his fault."
Yep.
And I was just like, "Dang, we blamed him for everything," because because the reports came across and it skewed our thinking towards the situation. And I'm like, "Nah, we will." And turns out he wasn't a problem at all. So I'm nervous, man. I'm like, man, what does this mean for WWE? What does it mean for the product? We remember early in the year, I don't know if it was this year or last year, Stephanie McMahon sold off a bunch of stock. They're like, why is she trying to get out? What's the deal?
Was that during that was during the pandemic?
Is that when it was?
I feel like it was.
She sold off a lot of the stock, and it was everybody like kind of looked at her like, "Ooh, why is she selling off so much stock? Like she's all these stock options in regards to, to the WWE. Like why did they dumping them like that? And but also we have a new wrinkle into the situation. Apparently, I don't know if it's one or more, but I know there's a shareholder that is trying to sue Vince McMahon, the executive chairman of the board in WWE.
Oof, sounds dirty now.
I know, right? Doesn't it? It's filthy. For using his 80% shareholding as a means to force his way back into leadership. And apparently, I guess that's well enough for there to be a lawsuit to ensue, right? And with that said, I'm hearing if it goes through or it sticks, it's enough to remove him as chairman of the board until the investigation is concluded or until you know what I mean? So would that be the craziest thing in the world where he just gets back in, you remove 3 people from the board, you add 2 more people in, and then you get sued and you got to sit there and be removed again? Like you move in, get my cell phone back, put this stuff back in my office, make sure you change his curves like I had it before, and then they come back and say security goes, now you got to hand over the cell phone again, take his curtains right back down, you got to go home to the investigation concludes.
Does Stephanie come back?
Just completely tie everybody up in litigation. I don't think she does.
Okay.
I think she's gonna let Nick Khan do his thing because it's a mess. It's professional wrestling. This is like one big work. What if this is all just going down for the Netflix documentary he's trying to do for himself?
Hey, I'm telling you, it's a big work, bro.
He's like, I'm trying to mine's got to be better than Michael Jordan's.
Absolutely.
Like,
absolutely.
I'm once again, am I stretching?
No,
I can't tell what's going on.
Tom Brady was like that because Brady was supposed to be like a one off, but when he saw The Last Dance, he's like, nah, I need that. So we talking about the ultimate competitor. If it's anybody who's more competitive than Tom Brady, it's Vince McMahon.
Vince McMahon.
That's what makes me nervous about. That's what makes me nervous about his touching creative, is because Triple H is doing so well. He's like, well, let me do something and I'll do it even better. But it's like
Mania sold out, not sold out, but already broke the record. That's just something to think about.
Well, see, that's another thing I'm concerned about, is because they're successful with what they're doing. So why change anything? As a businessman, at the end of the day, business will say, well, look, business is good, everything is good in the right space. Why would I touch it? But it's that ego that I'm nervous about, because now if the rumors when there were rumors of, oh, Saudi's going to buy it and they're going to go back to being a privately owned company, right? You don't have to answer shareholders. You can do what you want to do at the end of the day. So I don't know, man. Let's ask this. We're gonna ask this question right now. We've had this conversation because we're about to wrap this up. We've had this conversation. We've had this conversation, right? We put a lot of stuff on the table. We don't have all the details. We don't have any of that. Was fans speculating? I want you guys to answer me. Is Vince McMahon the hero or the villain in this situation? I say that because he says nobody's going to get a better deal than me. This is what the fans want. This is what we enjoy. Opportunities to expand. What if he's trying to get the network back? Like, I don't know. You see what I'm saying? Like, is he the hero or is he the villain? Or is he just this power trip old guy that just doesn't want to retire and feels like since you all try to take my legacy away from me, I'm going to destroy it?
I like that last option.
Hold up. So Bryan H, you're calling him the villain. Is that what you're saying?
The villain, the that NWO, like every storyline Vince McMahon has ever done, I don't put it past him to do in real life. Like, I don't put it past him to do what he did to Stephanie McMahon in Baltimore in 2003.
Yeah.
So I don't put it past him to create the NWO and destroy the WWE.
I'm going to destroy my own creation.
Right.
So Bryan H, you think he's a villain? What about you, brother Hugh? Is he the hero or is he the villain?
Oh my gosh, my head hurts.
I mean,
see, I'm trying to be the realist in here. Like,
that's why we trying to find a balance, brother Hugh. That's why we having this conversation, because I'm struggling too, brother.
I'm not trying to go off of my emotions
and
say, oh yeah, he's a villain. Like, this is what's going on with it. What's going on? I'm trying to be like, look, what makes logical sense? Like, what's I would like to say let's go 60-40.
60-40
So-
what? Which way? Which way you leaning?
Let's go. He's the hero, 60%,
Wow.
40. It might be. I would like to. It might be a closer percentage than that.
So Brian, you think he's a villain? What about you?
In 2003,
Yeah.
I don't put it past him to do in real life. Like
I'm
I don't
conflicted. I'm
past
still
him
conflicted.
to do what
I
he
think
did
you guys
to
have
Stephanie
had excellent
McMahon
points when it comes to
in
the
Baltimore.
situation. Old guy
And
doesn't want to retire. I
I
think only
and
time
feels like-
will tell, but it's like, well, nobody's going to get a better deal than me. As of right now, fans want this. What all that we have, right, is
we
not
put
is
lot
a
of stuff on the
guarantee
table. We don't have all the
from the
details.
chairman, the executive chairman of the board. As dirty as that sounds, as Brian H. says, is that he says management is already in
It might be.
place.
It might be. I would like to. It might be a closer percentage than that.
And he's not
Brian H., you think he's a
interfering
villain.
with
What about
that.
you?
For the sake of positivity,
Mhm.
I'm going to take that at face value, and I'm going to settle with that for the time being. Who knows? Do you think Stephanie Triple H maybe wanted Vince to come back? Like, Vince, this is our family. This is our family legacy. You can't let this guy want to retire. Because at the end of the day, what if the board outweighs a McMahon? You know what I mean? And they decided, well, let's vote to sell the company because that's one of the best interests. And now it's no longer in the hands of a McMahon. You know what I mean?
Right.
And then there's also these rumors of like, well, they were talking about it before. They were trying to sell.
Right.
So I honestly don't know. Hold on, my camera's acting funky. Honestly, I really don't know. But we got to come to a conclusion.
And Flex Zone, I'm not tripping, man. Don't disrespect me on my show, bro.
Man said, don't disrespect him on the show.
Yeah, I'll talk about y'all later, Gups.
Wow. Do people watch more AEW now because of this?
I mean, they could.
He said, why?
Dynamite looking good now.
It's a new set.
They get a new set. And they got a new producer over there. So
It's nice and cute and pretty. I saw it. It was all right.
We gotta see how the creative gonna be though. But
Right.
that's a good question. Whew.
Nah. Because at the end of the day, what you laughing for? What I missed?
Because you're right. You was about to go in.
Oh,
I knew where he was going, and I started laughing prematurely.
Oh, okay. At the end of the day, like, no matter how much you don't want to see the product with Vince McMahon at the helm, you're still going to tune in to see.
I'm not.
How everything
No,
is going.
bro.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
not.
like you're
I'm
going
not,
to tune
yo.
in and be like, look.
I don't feel like, listen to me, brother Hugh. I've never
Hold
felt
on.
this way before in my life, yo. I don't think I can do it this time. Usually, every time I said,
you're gonna do it for a little while.
every time
You're
I've
gonna do it
said
for a
that,
little while.
every time I've said that, I've been out the game for like a year and a half, maybe 2 years. Probably never. It's felt like longer than that, but it's never really been longer than a year and a half, 2 years. So like I stopped watching wrestling in 2001 ish. I didn't really watch it for majority of 2002, but I always knew what was going on, kept up because my brother still casually watched it. So I would come in 2002 ish, early 3 ish. I knew what was going on, but I didn't keep up with it. Like, you know what I mean? So then like 2000, late 2004-ish, 5-ish, that's when I started getting back into it full time.
You ain't.
I didn't even feel that. I just listen to me. I'm telling you.
It's in your contract.
I have
realness reacts.
I have never felt like this before. And I'm like, bro, I refuse. If freaking Vince McMahon is in charge, if I see anything, I'm like, yo, I don't know what we're gonna do, fellas. Cause I'm not doing nothing. I refuse. I can't. I'm not going back. I cannot
break it down with Brian H every week.
Bro, I cannot go back.
No,
Not,
we gonna get
yo.
realness. No, it's gonna go back to the wrestling round. Gonna go back to only shows, only timeless shows.
Oh
We're gonna
yeah, there you go.
back to the archive.
All the timeless stuff. We just start talking about casual wrestling things.
Yep, and I'm gonna do all the newsy stuff, weekly stuff. It's gonna be me, brother Hugh, and brother Brandon.
That's
and
how I
Realness
was.
like in the chat. That's why I don't watch.
Yeah,
That's why I don't watch.
I used to do it in 2000. What was that? 11 or 12? I used to do that, and then I think I did it again in 15.
Yep.
Yeah. So this is not our first rodeo. I've been in this cycle before. but brother.
No, but then again, brother Brandon already called his wrestling coma, so he's just gonna buy belts and add more belts.
He has gone in those spaces before where he went these
Mhm.
wrestling comas, man.
And,
But
and
man,
he got enough belts to do a whole show for what 3
Listen,
years.
he could crank out a couple seasons worth of stuff and be good. And
Yep.
be good, man. But
Mhm.
yeah, brothers, man, Vince McMahon is back. It's early. We don't really know what this means. We're hearing a bunch of corporate mumbo jumbo. We can only hope and pray that what they're saying is true and that Vince McMahon is not being conniving and using his position to kind of manipulate and get what he felt like was taken away from him to the detriment of us, the fans, because we have been enjoying what Triple H is doing. I don't know how much this affects the plans of the global expansion with the NXTs and things like that. I don't know what aspects of that was a company thing or a Triple H thing or a Stephanie thing or Vince McMahon. I don't know. But I do know that Vince McMahon is the executive chairman of the board of WWE once again. The greatest comeback in the history of professional wrestling. Edge needs to take notes.
I'm telling you right now,
Mhm.
number 30 is Vince McMahon. Okay, he's gonna come in. He's gonna take the Rumble by storm. He's gonna win it. And then we're gonna get the return of Do-Rag Vince.
Wow.
Right?
Start the way it do right.
Going into WrestleMania. Hey,
I
he's
definitely
gonna beat
did.
Roman. He's gonna beat Roman night one, and then Austin's coming out and he's gonna.
Yo, listen, he could barely take a Stone Cold Stunner. He's not beating.
Wait, no,
Austin-
he could. Yeah, his legs
Austin's coming
gave
out
out.
the next night, and they're gonna fight one last time for the WWE Championship. There it is.
Brother Raj, you were right, yo. It was all good just a week ago. It really was, man. Let me ask you this quick note before we get out of here. Steve Austin, does he have something to do with WrestleMania? A lot of people are like, man, he's not getting all jacked like that just for the sake of trying to stay in shape.
Exactly. He's coming. He got a taste of that crowd last year.
Oh, yeah.
I'm telling you, man. He's
And
like, oh no, I can do more.
Yep. They say it's the most addictive thing, and even Triple H
It
said,
is.
And one thing I know about The Rock, he told me Hollywood don't give him them goosebumps.
Yeah, man. And the crazy part about Austin, he performed well. You know what I mean? Like you never felt like it was a forced match or it was a gimmick match or it was like, they looked like they had and it fit both their personalities. Of
They
course,
gave
Kevin
us low
Owens,
expectations and delivered.
I mean, that's the formula.
Something CM Punk never did. Main event WrestleMania.
Nope. And then the night after WrestleMania, Kevin Owens started beefing with Ezekiel, Elias' twin brother. Went right back to old Vince. But
You know what? Better yet, Austin Theory is going to win the belt.
I can't, bro.
Yo,
I'm not doing this.
It's gonna come back like, why is he Austin Theory? He's supposed to be Theory, damn it.
I don't think you understand what I'm telling you. As the chairman of the board, I believe his name is Theory. So therefore, you should believe his name is Theory.
But Dad, it makes sense to go back to Austin Theory. Theory just doesn't make it doesn't pop as well.
Well, as executive chairman of the board, I feel like that names should be single names. And I think you should think that way as well. Or maybe we had to. This is me buttoning my suit. Maybe we need to rethink your position in the company as I speak as executive chairman of the board.
But I already sprinkled the dust, Dad. You can't. You can't get past the dust.
I really think. I think DX might try to jump Vince. Like if it goes, you guys think you're running my company? It goes like, Vince, listen to me. We never really put hands on you before, but I think now might be like, bro, here's how it's going down. We're gonna run the show.
Doing good.
That's what I'm saying. We're gonna run the show. You sit up here in this office and do whatever you got to do to make sure the business is running right. If you come to a show, it's gonna be a problem.
Yo, they're
gonna replay the limo scene.
Yo, this joint, like when your parents like go away on vacation.
Oh my god,
bro.
Here we go.
And then they come back. It's like, oh man, like it was a week ago.
Everything was just fine. Lies. They been not fired the Good Brothers. They been not fired not near about it. I mean, never mind. I was ready to say something mean, but nope, I'm not gonna say it. We don't want to see nobody get fired.
I told you. See, October was
Everybody about to leave. So I mean,
I don't know. Nobody going anywhere because nobody wants to, like, there's nowhere to go. Everybody from AEW is like, screw that, I'm coming back. Then there's like Vince, crap.
You see Tony Khan's tweet on Friday?
Yeah, I saw it.
People was
Everybody's
nice to
all
me.
of a sudden being nice to me again. Like,
I wonder why. It's such
me,
a troll.
because freaking Rusev is on his way back, Andrade is on his way back, and now they're like, crap, we stuck between a rock and a hard place. But you know, like I said, brothers, we're not gonna prolong this any longer. We just want to have a brief discussion about, one of the more timely conversations that's been going on in the world of professional wrestling. Only time will tell. We'll figure it out.
Yep.
We're just like everybody else. We're going to be fans. We're going to stay tuned. We're going to stay plugged in. I'm sure there's going to be 1,000 rumors between here and tomorrow, and so on and so forth. But until we see a noticeable change on TV, let's keep our fingers crossed.
Yes, sir.
And for those listening and watching, we will ask you to follow us on social media platforms at Wrestle Realm. Subscribe to our Patreon, Twitch, YouTube at The Wrestling Realm. Gentlemen, any last words before we get out of here?
Oh, man.
Yeah, I know. It's been one of those freaking nights. Like,
yeah. Oh, boy. Yeah, it's been one of those, man. But, yeah.
They got Brother Hugh, man.
They got him. They got
Brother
him.
Hugh. Got Brother Hugh. Screenshot that so you see his pose.
That's a Hugh pose.
Right.
Man, shout out to everybody in the chat today, man. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Oh,
appreciate
by the way,
you guys joining us. Yeah.
Yeah. Shout out to Queen PR, her birthday today, and her twin sister Letty.
Oh, nice. Happy birthday to
the chat earlier. And shout out to Issa Demon. It's her birthday as well. So yeah, shout out to Brother Raj, as always, holding it down. I was in their chat last week, so make sure you check out the Flex Zone. Yeah, I don't like football right now, or sports in general. There's Brother Hugh, but I still had to go, I had to support the brothers over there.
Sure, of course.
But guess what? Coming up, next episode of Breaking Through Glass Ceiling. So this week I had Brother Fam on, right?
Uh-huh.
Guess who's coming through next week? CJ Butter.
Oh, yes, my guy.
CJ Butter coming through. I'm mad because I didn't even make that reference once on the show, as much as we kept doing that in Vegas for obvious reasons. But yeah, CJ Butter was definitely there at the beginning of the Wrestling Realm days. So he know all about it. He, sends his congrats for all the success on the show. So wanted to pass that along to you, good brothers.
Yeah, man, that's my guy, man. I don't know if it was his first NABJ. Did he go Orlando with you guys?
Yeah, he was in that.
He was there for there for my first in Boston. So
yeah,
we had a good time, man. We had a lot of fun.
I'm still mad about Boston because I should have went.
Why didn't you? Oh no, because you didn't want to make that drive, didn't you?
Dummy. Yeah, I was thinking my birthday was next week. I was like, I ain't gonna go there. I already got a job. Not thinking
at the end of the day, he was being soft. That's all it is.
Wow.
I see that was his receipt from the comment you made about his blue suit and Martin Luther King stuff.
That's right. I got that screenshot of you, buddy. That's about
Uncle Howdy got you.
I know he did. Forget you, Uncle Howdy. I was talking good stuff about you all day on the show. You gonna freeze me like that? Okay.
Yep, sure did.
Howdy.
But yeah, so man. But
yes. Anything else?
Stay tuned. That's all I'm gonna say. An announcement's coming. Stay tuned.
All right.
To my socials in the next few days.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. We got some big news coming. Bryan Danielson is going to drop a bomb. His heel turn is about to be complete.
Wow.
His heel turn, ladies and gentlemen.
You thought I was Jack Daddy before. I'm definitely Daddy now.
The Jack Daddy.
Y'all make it is
nah. The Jack Daddy. The heel turn will be complete.
Oh,
please stay tuned. Stay freaking tuned to Brian H. Waters' social. Matter of fact, give me your social media just in case. I know it's on the screen, but for those listening, tell them what they can follow. Tell them where they can find you and where they're going to find this announcement at.
at Bryan H. Waters. BRIANHWATERS.
And ladies and gentlemen, I'm not supposed to say anything, but I'm gonna give you a spoiler because I just do what I want. It's gonna his announcement is gonna sound a little bit more like this. All you fans in here throwing trash in the ring, brother, you all can stick it. It's gonna sound a lot like that.
That's actually what I watched this weekend.
For years, I told you to say your prayers and take your vitamins, brother.
Take your vitamins, right? Hey, come on, bro.
That's what this announcement is going to sound a lot like.
He gonna sound like Young Thunder Lips.
Because the big man and the medium-sized man, they got a third member. They got a third member. So pay close attention to Bryan H's social media at Bryan H. Water, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, all over the place. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, if you don't understand how we felt about the same, just in case you missed it earlier, that we feel the same way that most employees felt last week at WWE headquarters.
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
We out.
Houston, we have a